Yeah. So, I like to smile. Cheers.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Cheers to having a good time.
All right.
The author. The author. Miss Top 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like this. For real, I feel like, yo, I made it. You know what I mean? I do. I was like, yo, hey. I brag to everybody, like, yo, listen, man. You know I'm getting bigger, right? Because I got author. Miss Top 100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Definitely a businesswoman. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a businesswoman, woman that's about her business. Very professional. You know what I'm saying? Can I ask you a question? Wait, please
Yes.
introduce yourself.
My name is Nicole Hamilton.
Nicole Hamilton. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you know.
What's your question?
Okay. What inspired you to write books?
Um. So when I was a kid, I used to read books a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I love to write. I just writing was always a passion for me. So I always thought that one day I would write a book, and I don't know. One day I just decided to do it.
Got addicted
Did
to
it?
it.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd myself.
Are you?
Yes, I'm
Are
a
you calling
reader.
me a nerd?
Is that? Wait, no,
It's
no, no.
okay. I am kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I read a lot. I do. I,
Very.
I feel like it's the greatest escape. You know what I mean? Especially when the book is good. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Not only just an escape, but it's knowledge.
Yeah.
Depending on what you read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I'll tell you a secret, right?
Okay.
Read 5 books a year, not including magazine articles or nothing like that. 5 books a year for like 7 years straight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's my secret, right? So I read different genres and shit like that. And I feel like there's more knowledge in fiction than nonfiction.
You think?
Yeah, absolutely. That's man. This is one book, my favorite book. It's called The Name of the Wind. You ever read it?
Mm-mm.
Oh my goodness. Uh, it is this TV series, but it was garbage. But they had a book series. It's called The Sword of Truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I use this line to this day. I think it's like book 5. You know what I mean? Well, in every book, it was like a rule of a wizard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a stone cold geek over here. You know what I'm saying? And like I remember rule number 1 is like people are stupid. Don't ever expect to hear things from people that you know what I mean are you know logical and knowledgeable with a dash of wisdom. It's just basically people are stupid. They're going you know what I mean. So you just you just gotta learn how to separate the truth through their stupidity. You know what I'm saying? And this is all through fantasy books, you know, dragons and shit like that. But the one thing I remember reading, right, is 2 people was arguing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna use another book reference too. 2 people was arguing, right? And he was like, "Nah, you gotta learn how to leave people alone. This and that, this and that." He's like, "Nah, I try to leave them alone." He's like, "Nah, you gotta learn to leave people. You know, every battle is this and that. Doesn't equate from to a war." He says, "Yo, bad people are going to treat you bad regardless of whatever you do." You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "See, that's like this person meant." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This person had like a little level of wisdom where it's like, yo, I tried to give this guy a break, but he kept fucking with me. And now it's like, yo, now I had to do it to him, so now I gotta do it to everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I feel like on a man as far as a man's love, men could be a little bit more. Well, need and definitely, will you agree to this? Need to be a little bit more macho. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like that's one of the greatest. Like yo, I feel like yo in life, yo, if you're gonna treat me bad, I already you're gonna keep treating me bad regardless of how I treat you. So
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, you're not getting uh, the type of feedback you want. You know what I mean? Because it's and men should be dangerous. I
Men should be dangerous.
absolutely, absolutely. A man that's not dangerous is not worth shit.
Hmm.
Yo,
Interesting.
my danger. If I loved you, right, my
Mm-hmm.
danger should not be on you. My danger should be for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why. No, that's why I'm big on keeping on. I understand relationships come and go, but I'm big on like yo when you got a when there's a son, what are the male that are in his life? You know what I mean? Because like there's something even now I could tell with the workforce that people are missing. You know what I'm saying? Like yo, hey, dang dog, you know what? You know what I mean? And it's not, and it's something. No matter what, no matter how much swag or money you got, it's missing. And you know what I mean? And so I don't know when. See, I felt like I always had it, so I don't know when it's missing. Cheers to that, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like but I don't know if I don't know if it's and I believe those guys have to look in the mirror and have to accept that because they keep on trying to substitute it with swag or finances. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like, hey, dog, maybe you should just, do 5 push-ups a day or something. I don't know. I don't know, but like,
Yeah.
but it has to be that like, yo, over my dead body type of thing. And every man, I wish that.
Yeah.
With that being said, I feel like there has to be a level of love in every woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because like, if we're savages, then but we're doing all the. I'm not sure. I know you're pro woman,
I am pro woman.
and like, but we're men doing all the shitty jobs that produce society. I feel like there should be one thing every woman should have is that ability to. And even though it's going at right now, but they should have that ability to civilize a savage. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, and in today's society, right? If two people don't know each other, they're not nice to each other. Like, I'm like, I don't. I'm telling you, I go to Walmart. I mean, I go to a store. I go to Turkey, a gas station, and I don't see men opening doors. You know what I mean? And
They
it's like
do. They
not
do.
for real.
They do.
I thought I was one of the only few, and the people I talked to were like, oh, wait, what? They're like shell shocked, and I'm like, wait, are you shell shocked for somebody being nice? What trauma you live in? But
Yeah, I think most people are nice.
yeah,
Yeah. Like I went to the store on my way here. Somebody
okay,
held the door open for me.
that's it.
A woman on the way in and a man on the way out.
Okay.
So, and I do it. I'm nice. And I
Mm-hmm.
think,
Was they older?
mm,
Was it
mm,
was
no,
it
I don't think
seasoned? How
so.
about that?
They were probably around my age. I think the guy was probably older.
Okay. See.
The woman, she was around my age.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you start out being nice, like I'll hold the door for somebody at any moment.
Okay.
Just because I think if you be nice to someone, that'll encourage them to be nice to
Mm-hmm.
somebody. It's like a domino effect.
Mm-hmm. I definitely understand. I definitely agree. You
Just
know,
like a smile is contagious, being nice is contagious too.
smiles is definitely contagious. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I feel like it's the little things that make people happy, and you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
yo, hey, you know. So, so as a single mother, right,
Mhm.
with successful children, right?
Mhm.
What was the element to elevating those children to a level of success?
Hey, mom.
The mom.
um, I think as a teenage parent, like
Mhm.
I had my first child when I was 16,
Mhm.
2 months before I turned 17,
Mhm.
and I don't think as a teenager you really think about the future
Mhm.
and this is my child forever. I'm gonna have to be a parent forever. You just think about right then
Mhm.
in that moment. I
Living
have to
in the
buy
now.
diapers. I have to do this, and I have to make sure this child eats.
Mhm.
But you eventually, I did. I
Mhm.
can't speak for other people. Had to start thinking about this is a human being that I have to guide for
You have to die.
guide,
Oh, okay.
guide, provide guidance
Okay.
to eternally. Basically,
Mhm.
you're a parent. You're a parent forever,
Yeah.
and your children are always going to require some type of guidance.
Mhm.
And I was a single parent,
Mhm.
and I had two boys, and I didn't want to be a statistic. I didn't want my kids to grow up and repeat the cycle of what I had done as a parent.
Mhm.
I didn't want them to be teenage parents. I wanted them to graduate high school and go to college and do everything that they needed to do.
Mhm.
And I think for that you have to provide the appropriate type of guidance. And it's difficult to do
Mhm.
as a single parent.
Mhm.
But I was lucky
Okay.
because I had my father,
Mhm.
so their grandfather, and then their godparents.
Cheers to giving men their credit. Like,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I can say that the men that I know
Mhm.
personally that are in my life,
Mhm.
with the exception of the father of my children,
Okay.
those are the only sorry
Mhm.
niggas I know. I mean, because they wasn't there for their
Mhm.
kids. But every other man in my life that I know personally, that I'm friends with, there's
Mhm.
family, they're good dudes. They're good guys.
Okay.
And so my dad and their godparents as a
Mhm.
couple, but the godfather, um, provided them a lot of guidance. They
Mhm.
provided that stability, that manhood that
Yeah.
children need.
Yeah.
And I definitely think that kids, you can do it as a single parent. You
Mhm.
can you can raise a well-rounded kid,
Mhm.
but I strongly believe you need a man to raise that kid properly and for them to be just all right.
So you look at today's generation, right?
Yeah.
Tough question, you know. Do you think that there's not enough good men, or do you think that women don't want to swallow their pride for the good men to do what needs to be done?
I think the family dynamic is challenged. I think that
Mm.
the way I think society has a lot to do with it.
Okay.
If you want to go back to welfare,
Mm-hmm.
you have somebody who's working a minimum wage job.
Mm.
If you work a minimum wage job, what can you afford?
Yeah.
So you have to get on welfare. You have to, get public assistance.
Okay.
What does public assistance tell you? You can't have a man in the house.
Mm.
If you have a man in the house, then we can't help you.
Mm.
So the man has to leave. So I think it's some of those things that have an effect on the family structure,
Mm-hmm.
like, because back in the day, it was mom and dad, it was grandmom and grandpa, and that was a solid foundation. And these days we can't have that. But you also have, which I don't exclude myself from this, the people who we choose to have children with.
Okay.
You know, I didn't wait until somebody asked me to marry them before I said, okay, let me have a kid.
Mm.
Um, I didn't.
Accountability.
It wasn't.
Wow.
It wasn't planned. I
Okay.
didn't plan on being a teenage parent,
Mm.
but and I didn't plan on being a single parent.
Mm.
But life happened,
Okay.
and I chose to take a route to deal with it and be responsible and change my life because I basically was going nowhere at the time.
Mm.
You know, I was just living. So I had to do something about my future
Mm.
in order to benefit my children's future.
Okay. Okay. Man, so much to unpack, but like, yeah, it is right because you gave credit to the man, which is like a beautiful thing because I think men in this era is not getting their credit. You know, you know, there's a part of me that wants to say like, was it like a awakening that made you want to go for a change, or was it just like an opportunity?
I think it was an awakening.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
had to
because
create your own opportunity.
yeah, because I knew in my mind
Hmm.
I didn't want to spend my life not doing nothing, just barely getting by. You
Okay.
know, I had to aspire to do something. I had to aspire to change
Hmm.
and set goals and achieve them, and just be different.
Okay.
I didn't want to be the statistic that I was. I wanted to be the change.
So you look down on the statistic.
I don't. No, I don't. Absolutely not. I don't look down on the statistic. Um,
That's a good way
I
how I
think,
worded
yeah,
it.
I think that any and everybody has the potential to change,
Okay.
and I think that it's difficult. Like it's you take somebody who made a mistake and
Mm.
had a child um, at the age of 17. They
Okay.
haven't graduated high school,
Oh yeah.
so they're working a minimum wage job.
Mm.
Life is going to be hard as hell because what can they afford? You can barely afford to take care of your child on a minimum wage job.
Now, I have a question, right? Because this is me this is general curiosity, right? I got two actually, but I want to ask this one first because you mentioned it. At 17, being a young teenage mom, right?
Hmm.
You, I like me personally, right? I feel like I feel like I feel like black people kick their kids out too early, but I'm not going to go into that. You know what I mean?
We can go into that.
You know what I mean? Oh, okay.
Hmm.
So I feel like black people kick the kids out too early. You know what I mean? Because there has to, you don't want to set something out in the world that's not ready for the world,
Hmm.
especially if you shelter it or whatever. But a 17-year-old woman, 17-year-old girl, uh, I feel like you know, was there a level of support to say, hey, you get right, we take care of your not to say a mistake, but take care of the situation so you can get right and handle the situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Are you
Okay.
asking, did I have that?
Yeah. It's like is that like a blueprint or is it like yo, you know
I
what you did it you got you know.
I had support
Mm-hmm.
um, by way of, like I said, my kids' godparents.
Ooh.
They were supportive, um, and then there were people in my family who were supportive.
Okay.
But the main person that I needed or wanted support from
Mm-hmm.
was not supportive.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now I got another question because I'm gonna save the star question for something else. But I hear that right.
Mm-hmm.
But like then I have to go to a young 17-year-old me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say like what would a 17-year-old me do in that situation? And and coming from an urbanized city, what do I know? And then it's like the first part is like you gotta know what to do in that situation, but then you don't know because we're both I imagine we're both 17, so we're just two people trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't talking about
Oh, okay,
him.
okay.
But
It's like because sometimes people don't know how to figure it out, and like and and I look at lost people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's why read any scripture. The greatest story is the story when the lost sheep is found. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I look at those sheep. You know what I mean? Lost sheep, and I'm like, wow. That's like life's either going to break you at that point, and this goes for you too. 17. Life's either going to break you or it's going to make you. You know what I mean? That's like, oh shit, something has to happen. Because things are happening that I can't control no more because I'm at that age where what I mean.
Yeah.
I allowing not consequences, but like allowing circumstance to arise because of things that I overlook. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like, so I watch from a distance. You know what I mean? And I remember in my past I was very hard on people for not stepping it up and doing all these other things, and I'm like, how could they? You know what I mean? And like even with you, like how could you know all the answers?
I
And
know.
then
I
and,
don't know
and at
what to do.
17,
I didn't.
you know what I mean? So but imagine your wall of support. You know what I mean? Like yo, girl, fill this application out. Get the welfare. Hey, yo, come on, let's get you this whip too. Walk your ass to the welfare. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All that, and like they, and I feel like women know what to do because like they're already attacking the single mother syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Vic, uh, uh, welfare. Okay, we want to get the benefits, and these are proper things in place to produce a healthy child, which I agree to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in favor for welfare. But I feel like there's nothing like to say, hey, yo, I'm at most. If I was a 17-year-old guy, and there's no way there's no way you really can support a child, but I have a child, or a child on the way. I don't see nothing else besides at 17 in an urbanized city. It's urban over there. You know what I'm saying?
So, my generation,
Uh,
when we were coming up, the majority of us
Huh.
had two parents.
okay, me
We
too.
grew
Yeah.
up in a two-parent household.
Mhm.
You had your dad.
Mhm.
You know how your dad supported you. You know how he provided for your family.
Mhm.
You know what it was like to grow up in a two-parent household.
Mhm.
Is that not enough? And even if you didn't,
Mhm.
if you grew up in a household with one parent,
Mhm.
with a mother, then
Okay.
you longed for a father.
Mhm.
So you have to know that when you have a child, you don't want your child to experience what you experience and not have a father. Even if you don't know how to get resources or
Mhm.
whatever, like everything's not available to you as it is to a woman,
Mhm.
you still know
Mhm.
how your life was, or you know how your father. You either know how your life was without a father,
Mhm.
or you know how your life was with one and how he provided for you. Therefore, you should be able to do the same for your child.
Uh, that's like a real battle. And when it comes to battles, people either win or they lose.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Um, which brings me to I don't know why my throat's dry, but yeah, it was like so that's a battle where people either win or they lose.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I want to say, and I definitely want to say this too, but things happen and we live and we learn. But I also want to say like, because I look at the welfare system and shit like that, and I feel like people went by the rules when it was good for them and didn't went by. I I know several couples that when the woman got pregnant, you know what I mean. She's like, yo, hey, go to your mom's house to shower shit, but you come over here. Go to your mom's house, keep your clothes over at your mom's house, but you come over here. I don't give a fuck if you have to catch the bus over here, this and that, but you spend every day over here. Right? You know what I mean? two, it was like, and you know, and like I salute these women because you know whatever. No, that's not whatever. I salute these women because they deserve to be saluted. You know what I mean? And like the, I seen the process of that. You know what I mean? And those women. Now I also know those women had guidance. Like, yo, hey, listen, man, it's not fair for a black man. So you gotta, if you want him to turn into a strong black man, you gotta play it like this. Boom, boom, boom. Keep the clothes over there. Make sure that nigga keeps the clothes over there. He comes over and y'all do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And